Hey guys, welcome back to Tea Time. I'm your host AJ, and I'm joined with Anthony today.
How's it going?
So, unfortunately, Jaelyn couldn't make this recording, but I brought on a little special guest for y'all. So, what was we were going to make our own podcast, weren't we?
Yeah,
What
the double A battery podcast, double
the
A podcast.
the double A podcast. Cue all the sound effects montage.
Yeah,
So this is a nice little test for that little
yeah,
double A podcast, if it ever
right.
happens.
A little what if sort of situation.
Yeah, a little what if. I completely forgot what I was about to say. Oh, so before we get to like our main topic, I just really quickly wanted to share this little story that happened earlier today. All right.
Okay.
So I have a jogging class, as you know, and some of my viewers know.
Yes.
Um, so jogging class went fine, ran, whatever. But then after I was like, man, I'm really hungry. And I had to go to advanced calculus.
Mm.
So on my way, stopped off to get a burrito. Uh, got the burrito. Love those ladies that I go to because they're like, "Hi, mijo, what do you want?" And I'm like, "I'm home," you know.
Yeah.
So I got my burrito, but my hands were kind of full. So I was like, I'll just eat this in class because I have plenty of time. I get to class 5 minutes early. I go sit down right in front because that's just normally where I sit. It's the closest seat. I'm lazy. Don't want to go to the back.
Mm.
I sit
Fair enough.
down and I don't know if my professor just had a double shot of 5 hour with his espresso, but he was like wired. He was like extremely hyper. He like literally speed walks in, doesn't even take attendance, throws
Yeah.
his stuff down and just starts writing stuff on the board. And I still have my burrito in my hand, right? So
Yeah.
he starts writing the stuff and he's like, there exists an x sub n minus x such that epsilon is greater than or equal to. I'm like, what? I haven't even opened my bag yet. So my quick thinking came in and I unraveled the whole burrito from the foil. I just like inhaled it. I scarfed down the entire burrito, opened my
Yeah.
bag. Like it was record time. Like any minute now, Guinness Book of World Record is gonna give me my certificate. That's how fast it was.
Right.
And so I get my stuff, I put it on my desk, I go to look up and we like lock eyes. So this man saw me scarf down like a 2 pound burrito in less than like 3 seconds. And he just looks at me and he just goes back to writing equations. I'm like, oh my God, that's how does he just keep a straight face during that? I don't know.
She's just.
Yeah. And then he just went right back. Yep, it was so weird. And I was like,
Oh God. Just.
I was like, he just drew so much attention to me. This whole class is probably looking at me. I don't want to look back. It was so awkward for me. It was weird.
Yeah. Oh God.
I don't like being like in the spotlight for any situation.
I wish I liked it more.
I
I wish I was good at it.
should have done
I just kind
theater.
of like freak out. I'm like a deer in the headlights and just I kind of don't know what to say. I start to freak out. I start overanalyzing the situation, and then I just kind of start rambling on.
Oh, 100% feel that.
Could you tell?
Yeah. So that's why we're like, I guess me and you are technically behind the scenes men, right?
More so, yeah.
When it comes to like creative stuff. So I do this podcast. We both kind of do the AP YouTube channel. What other like independent stuff have you been doing?
Well, like I know, like I've talked to you a few times about it, but I like to. I really am into movies. I've always wanted to be a director and all that, and that's like the whole thing. And so I'm writing a movie that comes along very slowly, and I get inspired to write for it in very small intervals at a time. And whenever I'm into it, I'm really into it. Whenever I'm not, I'm really not. But it's coming down the pipeline. It's going to get finished eventually, and probably like in another year. even though I've set a deadline for myself.
I- you is it like a hard deadline? Like you have to meet this?
It just has to be like done by I think like November. Like I want everything like I want it to be at least ready to be distributed by
Mhm.
November. Edited, cut,
Distributed.
every
Wow.
yes.
So you're gonna
So I used to
the
work at
whole
a
shebang.
drive-in theater, and I've actually talked to my old bosses, and they have actually um agreed to let me play the movie at the drive-in theater. Now the cost of tickets and all that that'll be up for negotiation as opposed to who gets how much. They'll probably get like the 70 end of the 30,
Hmm.
and I'll probably be getting the 30. That is, um, but that's my plan is to just get it written.
I could
Once I
not.
get it written, then
I don't. I don't think I could write anything. Or I mean, I've written essays, but they always end like immediately. But like
yeah,
writing a movie, I could not. It would just be like funny little jokes that I think I would just write a script as if like, no human has ever said this before. So I would probably put that in like just something
yeah.
stupid.
That's actually how I get like a lot of like the like dialogue. I guess is like I listen to other people. I eavesdrop on people's conversations a lot. And so if I ever just hear anything like in the background, like I'll just be like if I'm at like the store or something like that, and I'm like just looking for like Pop Tarts or something, and I hear somebody say something the next aisle over, and I think that should be in a movie. Then I'll just quickly like pull my phone out and put it down in my notes before I forget it. Um, and that will happen just about almost anywhere. Just the other day, I was getting tacos, and I don't even remember what I had heard somebody say.
Hmm.
It was uh,
I can imagine just like some kid throwing a tantrum and you're like, that should be in a movie. Just
yes, pretty much. Um, well, I probably shouldn't say half of these. That the movie will probably be rated R. Like, let me say,
okay. Yeah, that
with
makes
a lot
sense.
of this dialogue, which I imagine is probably not the dialogue for this podcast.
Definitely not. We keep it PG, PG 13, PG.
Yeah,
We keep it PG 16.
fair enough.
Fair enough. Oh, I still have that Eli documentary that I want to do.
Yes,
I
that is amazing.
haven't.
That's an amazing idea.
Yeah, I think there's like the whole middle section missing. So to catch everyone else up to speed, Eli's our friend who's there's just like a running joke where we just kind of interject his name in random chants, and like Eli's always the guy for anything. So he's just so I
Because it
decided to
started by
make.
replacing cuss words with his name, right?
Yeah, that's what it started with.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I remember in volleyball games. So, in high school volleyball games, like with each hit, you say the letter for your high school.
Mm.
So, like ours was CHS, but one time there was like a group of us that went to a volleyball game, and with each hit, it was ELI.
That's awesome.
So it's just a whole student section, ELI, just. Well, anyway, the documentary, I just think it'd be so funny because if it actually like gets some like notoriety, people would actually believe Eli is like this famous person from our
Right.
hometown. That would just be so funny to me. Eli wouldn't know
'Cause,
what to do with that fame. He would just,
yeah. Well, because like it kind of like mythologizes. Is that a word? Mythal.
I'm
It
not
almost makes
English
Eli like a
major.
myth,
Yeah.
and because he's not really present in the documentary, right? It's just about like him.
No.
We're all telling stories about him, right, or something like
Hmm.
that, or we're all telling his personality.
Yeah. Each person has like a
Yeah.
completely different wild story. Like I think uh the story Cameron says is like Eli's a mob boss, and then the story you give is that Eli was a 3-time Golden Glove winner. Like,
Yeah, I remember you told me something about that.
that's like it's another one of those fever dreams. It's like I just want to make this documentary of Eli for no
Yeah,
reason.
yeah, that would be funny.
There's always a there's always like a small creative bone in my body. I'm not a very
Yeah.
creative person, but I do want to create something.
See, but like whenever I hop into like Minecraft, I don't know ever like what to build. I'm like the worst person creatively. Like, and then there's
Exactly.
people who I know who can just like hop right in and build like the most gorgeous structure.
Yeah.
But then give me some other sort of medium and something like film or something like that or writing, and I can crap out an essay in like 20 minutes before the bell rings and get like a B.
20 minutes before the bell rings.
Yeah, that's yeah. I
Have
pretty much
you
graduated high school on um, just
um
crapping out essays.
have
Just
you made any like essay things since high school? No.
not one. No.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's English in high school is so weird to me because I just think the only thing that's really good is that they force you to read something
Mm,
that's probably important to know. But then the writing part, I don't think it's that important.
right.
Like, I guess aside from like grammar, but people that speak English just make up their own words
Yeah.
anyway. So,
Yeah, pretty much. Like how Cameron was talking the other day about how we pretty much like switched around like the letters and the word boys.
oh my God, that was
That was funny.
when I was trying to read that, I'm like, am I just dumb or is he
Yeah.
like overcomplicated something so simple? Is
Yeah.
because it's like boys is BOIS, but where's the E in plural and why did we drop the Y? Is the I
Yeah.
ironically something? I was like, Cameron, shut up. It's like 2 a.m. Go to sleep.
I mean, in a weird way, it kind of made me start thinking. I'm like, yeah, that does make sense. Boys, BOYS makes you think of like children, like little boys, but then BOIS makes you think of like a group of guys, a collective group of friends, like. And then it got me thinking, and I'm just like, dang it, man. I'm like,
It's just a weird thought experiment. Like, yeah, it's just I guess Cameron rambling on about
yeah,
the our language, but also like you just wasted all my brain power. I needed that. Like now I'll be thinking about BOIS all day.
I brought it up to somebody at work, and that was like a conversation that we had for like another like 30 minutes, just talking about like boys and then like groups. That sounds weird. But yeah, pretty much just like words that get like swapped around and stuff like that in the English language. It's a weird.
Yeah, I remember I took
Yeah.
a Greek class and they should not have allowed me to take that class because it was in Greek and I don't know any Greek. But I remember part of a lesson where he was talking about the Greek word for life, but it's also the same word for
Mm.
like pain or suffering. It's like life is suffering. I was like, I feel that. I got it. I don't, it's up here. I've learned it already. It's,
Oh, God, yeah, man. I know. I always hear you like talking about like college, and I always think the stories are really funny because I'd never had much interest in going to college. Like I remember like even one of the quotes that I put down in our group chat is sometimes I feel like I'm just training to be homeless.
yeah. Okay.
And
So there was a little bit of a backstory with that because I was trying to make ramen, but the water here in Lubbock is so bad. It's just like the only way to describe it is like dry water, if that makes any sense. It's like if I drink it, I feel like I'm eating a rock. It's so terrible. And so yeah, it's that bad. So what I had was like a bowl of water that I heated up and I had like a little pan to catch the steam to go
Yeah.
into a smaller cup so that I'd have cleaner water that I could use for my ramen. And I'm like, it's just training me to be homeless. Like it's,
It would be a useful skill to have though. So like for like if
but it,
whatever situation,
yeah, maybe
if
if
for
I'm out in the
whatever
wilderness and I'm about
yeah,
to
if for
die.
whatever reason you are homeless, now at least you know how to have clean water. I mean, you don't hope to be homeless, but at least like whenever it happens, you're like, don't worry, I know what to do, guys. You can like gather the other homeless people, teach them how to have clean water, and now you've made a difference.
Yep, as a wise man once said, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, and you can steal all his fish.
There you go. I've never heard that version of it before, but yeah, that works.
Uh, that's that's my new favorite version of that. That's I heard that like a couple days ago. Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, no, we're just gonna.
Yeah. I finished.
I see.
I'll
See
have it
that.
ready for the clink at the end.
That's okay. I almost forgot about that. I'm glad you reminded me. It would have been weird to not have the clink.
Yeah. Okay, you have to like excuse the mess in the background. My room is undergoing many renovations at the moment.
That's
so
fine.
very
I don't make my bed.
there you go. I actually heard that on one of the other episodes where you were talking about why you don't make your bed, and it's a very good point. I think making your bed is a complete waste of time. I've said that my entire life, and I think the way you'd put it finally summarized exactly how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's like why would I make hey, that reminds me. Do you know that like UT, I think it was a graduation speech. I don't know, they made it into like a book and it's called Make Your Bed. It was
Not heard
given
that.
by um was it a naval officer? I could be completely wrong. Sorry for any disrespect. But it was so this guy was like his speech is like make your bed because then it leads to this and that. It's like the small things, small goals throughout your day lead to big change and stuff. And I'm like,
Oh, okay. I have heard something like that.
yeah. So I'm gonna come up with a speech called "Don't Make Your Bed," and it's gonna be all about being efficient throughout the day.
Just cut the little corners so you can get the big stuff done.
Exactly. Why make small changes when you can make big changes now, right?
Right. Yeah. It doesn't make sense to make your bed because, like you had said in that other video, you're just going to hop right back into bed and then just ruin it.
Yeah,
Like, there's no point in really even making your bed because you're just pretty much just wasting potential time. Like, what, like an extra like 5 minutes that could be put towards any other thing, any other productive thing. What are you actually like physically achieving?
exactly. Unless I had a weighted blanket, then it'd be the same as lifting.
Yeah. But that doesn't make much sense either. That, yeah, I don't know about that.
I was about to say,
But
let it sink in.
I'm just trying to think about sleeping with like a weighted blanket. I'm like, would that not put some sort? I don't know. That doesn't
Some
sound like that
pressure
would
on you?
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
doesn't
what's
sound
wrong?
like a very good idea.
Some people like to feel that. I don't know. I've only seen weighted blankets thrown at people because when they're like, oh, it's a blanket. So they go to catch it and they realize it's like 30 pounds. So they like fall. But that's it. That's
I didn't even know those were like actually like existed. I
You've
thought we
never
were just
seen
kind of
those?
rambling on. I thought we were rambling on about a fake product here.
No, weighted blankets are real.
I've never heard of that before.
I'm after this, I'm gonna send you an Amazon link for weighted blankets so you can see them.
I might just buy it. That's kind of been in like the mindset that I've been in because I got a few Amazon gift cards from work. So it's like if I ever see any random product, I just randomly buy it because it's just free money. So it's like I just buy random things. The other day, I told you about this. I bought this dabbing Squidward for my desk. This sits right above my speaker.
That's
It
awesome.
serves no actual purpose at all. It does absolutely nothing except for exist. And so But it is made of nice quality. The skin of Squidward is like a suede.
Interesting.
Anyway, that's all for the review. It's
Wow.
just like I said, it's a dabbing Squidward. It does absolutely nothing else. It doesn't move anything. It
Not
just
even like a
dabs.
bobblehead, nothing.
No, no, it's just exists.
Don't smack him around. Jeez. Show him some respect.
Yeah. So I've just kind of been ordering random things off of Amazon just for fun. So a weighted blanket, something that I have no absolute knowledge on, is probably right up that alley.
Actually, what you should do is take the weighted blanket, go up like 8 stories, and wait for someone to walk by and just
Just drop it and just make them fall.
just drop the blanket and just watch them just crush. Just actually don't do that. We don't condone murder. That's
I was just
basically
gonna say hurting your fellow man, but yeah, murder. Yeah, that works too. Yeah.
we don't condone that either.
Right.
Sometimes I feel like I have to make sure to tell people that I'm being ironic, because there was one episode where I think for like 5 minutes I talked about how we should bully people, and
Yes.
and at the end of that I was like, hold on, I hope no one takes me seriously.
Yeah. No, I agree. We should totally bully. I think it builds stronger. I think it builds stronger individuals. I think in the long run, it makes for less sissies in the world. And yeah, no, I think we should be more clear that we are being ironic. This is don't bully.
Don't bully.
Next topic.
For any of the audio listeners, we were just like nodding our heads and waving our hands. Should we do like a visual only segment? Oh, we should learn sign language and have a sign language podcast episode.
And then just put it specifically on Spotify. And
It'll
so then
just
that
be
way they have to
silent.
like, it'd be kind of like ASMR. So like you just kind of put your hands up next to the mic and then it's kind of up to interpretation for what we're saying. They can kind of hear the sound movements and they're like, oh yes.
I don't know
Yes,
if
I
having you
agree.
is a good idea, because now I'm just gonna get back to Jaelyn and be like, oh, we need to have a sign language like episode.
No,
It's-
I'm worried that she's gonna be like, well, what did y'all talk about? And then
I'm just gonna be like, you're gonna have to watch it. You're just
yeah. Because like
Yeah.
whenever you try to explain what we talked about, it's just not gonna make any sense at all. Then you're just gonna be
No.
like, well, we talked about like having a silent podcast.
She's like, is that it? And be like, we also talked about killing people with weighted blankets.
It's like, yeah, it's like having one of those memes where it's like awfully describes a movie with like 4 pictures. We'll have dabbing Squidward, weighted blankets, sign language, and I don't know. We'll
that's
probably
it.
have the
That
4th
right
thing
there.
within. Yeah, we'll probably have the 4th thing in the next like 20 minutes, 10 minutes. How much longer?
2 seconds. And that is all we have for today's episode. No, I'm kidding. I think we still have like a little while. We still have a little bit. If you want to bring
Nice.
anything up. Actually, I do have a real question.
Okay.
What's it like having a real job?
Define real job.
Well, because you work every day. You don't have
Mhm.
summers off. And there's old people there.
Yeah,
Or
there's definitely old people at my job.
older people, I should say.
No,
There's
they're
adults.
old.
No, they're old. So that classifies as a real job to me. If it's not all high school students working there, it's a real
Mhm.
job.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I work pretty much 5 days a week, which it leaves me with no free time, especially because we're 6 a.m. to finish. So you can either get done really fast and not get paid a lot for the day, or you can take your time and then get like a 60-hour work week and then just have work and sleep as your entire week pretty much. So it's fun. the 2 days off are pretty much the days that I cram all of my activities into. Anything that I needed to get done throughout the week, I pretty much just put into Friday and Saturday. And I don't really have many rest periods. It's just either work, sleep, or constantly running errands all day
60
long.
hour work week. Jeez, I could knock that out in like a day.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, okay. So, just as I guess as like a brief description for it is, I pretty much I'm a merchandiser for a beer distribution company, and so pretty much what I do is there's the delivery drivers. They go and they drop off all the beer um, first thing in the morning, and then that's whenever I come in. My job as a merchandiser is I drive in my own personal vehicle to the stores, and then I go stock all that beer that they just dropped off, build any displays that might need to get built. Um, Put up any LED signs, neon signs, or posters or anything like that. And so it's pretty simple. It keeps me on my toes. It's a pretty fast paced job for the most part. And forgot where I was going with that.
Oh,
So you seem like you have something that could actually
yeah,
be
you
more
just gave me an amazing idea. I don't think you should do
okay.
this now because you'll probably get fired.
Right.
But like, down the line on your way out, when you're on your last route, you should have
Mm.
like 30 cardboard cutouts of Eli and just
Just put them up at the displays, just at every
because they
Walmart,
they
every
don't like
Target.
question you, do they?
Not really. Yeah, like I mean, every now and then, like a store manager might be like, "Oh, like, can you move this display over like this?" But if I just quickly go in, yeah, I could totally do that. I could quickly go in, do my job, run back out to my truck, grab a cardboard cutout, run it back in, put it down, run out. They would not
That
say a thing.
that would be so funny. That'd
That
be
would be
perfect way to
hilarious.
promote the documentary.
That would be really funny. We could have Eli like with like a beer in his hand, and then yeah, we just go throw it up next to like a Dos Equis display or like a Miller Lite display or something,
Oh man,
and
he's gonna be the new most interesting man in the world. He's
this isn't something that I should do. This is something that I now have to do. Like this is this is going to happen now. I just got to figure out how to get cardboard cutouts, how to convince Eli that this is a good idea.
No, that's the
And
best part. We don't tell him any. No.
I mean, we're not making any money off of it. We're just spending money
Yeah, we are.
to make the
We're
cardboard
just,
cutouts.
we're just losing tons of money with all
Right.
this.
Yeah. So, I mean, he can't really get mad. It's not like we're making money off of his likeness. It's all
Yeah,
we're
he
doing.
should he should be grateful. We're making him famous.
Exactly. Yeah. But tomorrow, okay, so as I'm sure you might have heard, this upcoming Thursday, as of January 31st, Monday, I don't know why I did the full date, but as of this upcoming Thursday, um, in Fort Worth, there's going to be a big old snowstorm, similar to how we had last February. And
Mhm.
so that's seems to be what my job is rolling with, is that there is going to be a snowstorm on Thursday. So typically we sprinkle out, or they're called work orders, and that's the days that the stores that we go to go build the displays. They sprinkle out the work orders throughout the week, and so since the stores are going to be closed on Thursday and Friday, or at least my company, Andrews, is beer distribution is going to be closed Thursday and Friday. They're going to be stacking the work from Thursday and Friday onto also now Tuesday and Wednesday. So now we have to do all that extra work. And so typically, like I said, it's 6 a.m. to finish. Well, my lead, actually, I just got off the phone with him just before I started doing this, and he had told me that I don't have to, but he highly recommends that I start at 5 tomorrow, because it's just going to be such a busy day, and we're probably not going to get off until a little bit later.
Jeez.
And so, yeah, it's going to be a fun next 2 days. But on the bright side, I'm going to have Thursday off. So I get to break my back for the next 2 days, but at least I get Thursday off. I get a 4-day weekend.
Yeah. You
So
God, I could not imagine having a real job yet. I mean, I guess I worked at Lowe's, which was okay because um it was like an overnight thing and I don't,
mhm.
so I was like, sweet, just put in my headphones, stock everything. And it was similar because it was like we received a shipment, we would organize it for some reason. I don't know why we didn't just stock it
Mhm.
immediately. But then we would put it on the shelves, and then when we were done, we would leave. It didn't really matter at the time.
Yeah,
But I don't know. Once I get this college degree, I can't wait to have like an office job where I just sit down every day at a computer and just hate my life. It's gonna be so exciting. I can't wait.
well, you're a math major, right?
Yeah,
And so what are you hoping to do with math?
hate my life. No. No, there's a few things. There's the main one's actuarial science. One makes a lot of money, two, it makes a lot of money.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like, to me, it's like predicting the future with math, which I think is super cool.
Okay,
But the dream job is to work like with some sports analyst and try to
that's
predict.
right. You had told
Yeah,
me that, I think.
that would, because I watch Moneyball like
Right.
thousands of times and I love watching it. And it's
That's
just
awesome.
it's so cool. But there's tons of stuff to do with math. I could take like a couple extra hours and get like a programming certificate, because
Mhm.
then I would basically get all the same jobs as a computer science major or like an IT person. I would just have an overqualified understanding of math. Yeah. But there's a lot of options. It's kind of why I picked math in the first place.
Yeah. I assume the general idea whenever you tell people that you're a math major, a lot of people just assume like, what are you going to do with that? Be a teacher?
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that so much. They're like, what are you going to be, a teacher? I'm like, no, that's a waste. Why would I be a teacher as a math major? And it's like, I could
What,
have
you don't
taught,
want to ever want to be a teacher?
no, I could have been a teacher when I graduated high school. Just go get a teaching certificate and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I've actually heard that it's actually like super easy to be a teacher now because there's such a need for teachers and
Hmm.
not enough people want to be teachers anymore. And so now they've actually made it easier to where I think you can get like your associates and then take a teacher class online, get it done in like a few weeks, and then you're a teacher.
That's so bad.
I know. I'm like, that's horrible.
That's so terrible. These kids are gonna know
Because,
nothing.
yeah, you get your associates at like what, 20, 19, 20, and then you take a class for a few weeks and you got some. That's horrible.
No, yeah, nope. I'm probably not gonna be a teacher. Maybe when I'm like dying, I'll be a teacher or something. What?
I mean, I think like being like a college professor would be kind of cool, like for math.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be. Oh, well, I'm gonna be exactly like my professor today. I'm just gonna wake up, two things a 5 hour, an espresso, and then these kids better keep up. That's
Yeah,
no.
caffeine scares me. Caffeine is just too like I just get too way too jittery to where I would probably like lose people if I ever tried to teach a class like that. Just good luck, guys.
I think I would start the class with good luck and try to keep up, and then I'd turn around and never face them ever again. Just keep going,
Just
just
keep writing and talking.
for the full hour.
And
Just
yeah. See, now while I'm not in college, my plan for college would have just been to pull my phone out and just record the entire like class and then
oh,
just
that's
rewatch
illegal.
that. Oh, is it really?
Well, I think it's technically illegal to record it and then like distribute it,
Oh, well, I
which
wouldn't
is
distribute it. It'd just be for my own self gain
dumb.
because I
Yeah.
can't pay attention.
There's so many times last year in my economics class, I hated economics. Economics is dumb because it's like when the line goes up, that means people want things. When the line goes down, people don't want things. I'm like, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
freaking graph. I get it. All right. I could literally find the derivative to this graph and then find the derivative to that graph. All right. This is, and then it, it made it even worse that the people in the front, no offense to them, they weren't the brightest. So they would ask questions like, hold on, how'd you get that? I'm like, bro, it's the slope. It's just the slope. You learned this in middle school. That's it. That's all. Like, she's not even going that fast. She's talking about how
Oh God.
her dogs need medicine or something. So
Yeah.
I would just fall asleep in that class. And then I'm pretty sure the professor hated me because I'd fall asleep, get like an 80 on the test. And I'm like, that's good enough.
Yeah, that's pretty much how like high school would go for me for math. Like I'd never math was always something that came easy to me, but reading was just always like the worst. But math, um, I think it was geometry. I my teacher hated me because I would never like show my work. I would always just know how to do the math in my head, and then I would get it done, turn it into him, and then he'd be upset because I'd be like a 15-minute class period, and then I'd be done with like 30 minutes left just sitting on my phone. So then he'd make me go do my work and like write it out and everything like that. And one day him and I just kind of got into like a back and forth about it because I was sitting here pretty much telling him, I'm like, it would take me so much longer to like write it out. Like, look, all the answers are correct. You can check. And he was like, oh, excuse me. He's like, do you want to teach the class? And I was like, I'll do it. Yeah. And I was like, put my paper up on the projector. And so he put it up like on the projector. I taught everybody exactly how I got my work and how I did it all in my head. Everybody even looked and was like, oh,
That makes sense.
that actually makes sense. Yeah. And then I looked at him and I was like, that's what you wanted, right? And I went to go sit down. And then he got mad and he gave me detention. And it was, yeah. And so this is why I don't like school. I just,
Yeah,
this is why I wouldn't do good in college. Like, because I'm either not going to do the work or
yeah.
I'm going to find some reason to argue with a teacher.
College, most of my professors are pretty cool though. So they're not too bad. If I get bored, I just ask them an interesting question and they make it interesting again.
Yeah. Yeah, good on teachers though, because they put up with spoiled brats like me back in the day. And I say back in the day, they still do, because actually my little sister was telling me about like how they're like doing that TikTok trend where like they steal the soap dispensers and they go destroy the bathrooms.
Devious
and
licks. That's so messed up. That is so messed up.
I'm like, ah, dude, it's ridiculous. And
No,
then
but have you
my
seen the
sister,
opposite of those?
no,
The angelic yields.
what? Where they like go give something to the bathrooms or what?
Yeah, they set up like a whole, like basically like a whole gaming lounge in one of the boys' bathrooms. They're like, I just hit one of the most angelic yields, and it's an Xbox One, a flat screen, some sofas. I'm like, what?
Why?
It's so funny. Yeah, shout out
Dang,
to
no,
teachers
I
for
do
putting up
wish
with all that.
that
Like,
was cool. No, and my sister had told me that actually a few weeks ago there was a kid who went and was arguing with the teacher, and he slapped the teacher right across the face
oh,
just because they were arguing. And I don't know, I don't remember what she said they were arguing about, but the kid slapped the teacher, and then apparently the teacher was trying to like fight back, but without like actually hitting the kids. You can't fight a middle schooler, like that's obviously illegal. And
this is
but
middle school?
yeah, this is middle school. She's in
Oh
eighth
my
grade,
God.
and like it's ridiculous. And then there's the Chinese teacher. The Chinese teacher, they all like make fun of her because she doesn't speak English very well, and so it's horrible. It's
That's
just it's
so bad. This is why teachers needs guns.
yeah.
No, I'm just that's not the reason, but
Like this is what happens when you don't beat your kids. This is why. No, I'm just kidding.
this
This
is
is why. Yeah, this is why teachers need guns.
this is what happens when there's no bullying. It's like you can't bully the kids, so they just bully the teachers.
Teachers. Yeah, exactly. They need to let their bullying out on somebody, and it seems like the teachers are the next new target.
Oh man.
No, and I mean, I think that was even something that was brought up in one of the older episodes too. Is that like it all kind of happened like after kids kind of started coming back to school after COVID. I guess there was just some less of a disregard for rules. I guess whenever people came back, I don't know. I mean, Zoom definitely didn't help because I felt like even
No.
like I was graduating high school whenever COVID had first hit. And so I got the tail end of it. I only had to do like 2 or 3 weeks, and I did like one Zoom class, but nobody paid attention. Nobody ever did anything. I didn't do anything. And so I can only imagine kids who got used to not doing anything are now going back to school where people are telling them to do things again.
Poor teachers, man. Poor teachers.
If people our age were already not worried enough for this Fortnite generation.
Oh God, yeah. Get them out of here. Like,
yeah,
I think I would just jump off a building if if an 8th grader slapped me and then started doing a Fortnite dance. Are you kidding me? I'd be like, all right, you know what? I'm out.
you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I just be like, all right, well, find the nearest skyscraper and see you on the way down. Just
yeah. It's gotten to the point where like my sister got like a flyer sent home with her, asking if like any of like relatives would want to be substitute teachers. And I had told my sister, I was like, no, I can't be a substitute teacher. I was like, I don't have my associate's degree. And she was like, no, look, she's like, you only need your high school diploma now. I was like, why? Why is that a thing? I'm like, they're really just lowering their standards. They just need like some adult in the room with these absolute apes of children. Like,
so yeah, it's getting real bad.
it's getting ridiculous. I don't know.
I think that's all the time we have for today. And actually, that's all the time we have today. So we'll end on.
We can't end it on that. We can't end it on just talking bad about the younger generation. We got to elevate the younger generation. We got to motivate them to do better.
No, we're a part of the same generation.
That's true. Yeah, we're all Gen Z, but I mean,
yeah, they know what to do. They should just watch us. We're literally model human beings. What? We're at the peak of human right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all super fit. Everyone and that's around my age, all super fit, all super smart. That's all really you need to be human.
Mm-hmm.
So just
So
the
like
tail end
so
of
when are we going to start
Gen Z?
that when are we starting that sign language podcast?
Oh no, that'll be me and Jaelyn. Sorry,
okay.
We'll give you a 2-penny commission for the idea. But that's about it.
Okay, I'll take that. Like royalties. Like I'm getting like 2 pennies for every like dollar, or like
no, just 2 pennies for the whole thing, and that's my 2 cents. I got him. All right. Thanks for joining us with Tea Time. Get your cup.
Wait, which side are you on? Are you on the left or the right?
Just do it to your left.
Okay.
Ready?
No.
And this has been Tea Time. Clink.
Clink. Wait, we might need to redo that.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
No, we're gonna end it.
But
All right, bye.